Now, let us learn about C++ data types. Data types means the type of data items that are supported in a C++ program. The C++ data types can be broadly classified into two different types, primitive and non-primitive. The primitive data types are the most basic data types available in C++ language. That can be integer, that can be floating point number, double, character, boolean, etc. These primitive data types can be again subdivided into two different categories, numeric and non-numeric. As the name suggests, numeric may be a whole numbers, which are known as integer, or a numeric numbers can have some fractional parts or decimal points in it. In that case, they are known as floating point numbers. In C++, an integer number is denoted using int keyword, and a floating point number is denoted using float. Now, these integer or floating point numbers may have different types of ranges. Based on that ranges, integer can be of short, int, and long. Short means it will support a small integer value, and whereas long means it will support a longer integer value. The same way, floating point number also have two different subtypes. One is the float, and if you want to store some very big floating point number, you have to use the double. Now, in this slide, you can see that C++ integer or floating point number has some ranges, some lower ranges and some upper ranges. Means beyond this range, C++ cannot operate. This is just like the fact that your brain has some processing power. Let's say you got two numbers. One has 100 digits in it and another number which has 200 digits in it. Can you multiply both of them? I don't think so, because that is beyond the processing capability of your brain. Similarly, C++ also have some processing capabilities. And here, those capabilities are noted as lower range and upper range. So a very nice hands-on will be just try to put some bigger number in the upper ranges of these integer or floating point numbers and just check using the cout statement whether you are getting the expected output or not. So the next primitive data types are non-numeric data types. There are two different types of non-numeric primitive data type in C++. The first one is character, which is denoted using char, and the second one is boolean, which is denoted using bool. Now, character represents all the alphanumeric characters in C++. It can be A, B, C, D, Z, a semicolon, a hash, or whatever character you can think of, or a dollar symbol, whatever. These characters are always enclosed inside a single quotation, just as you can see in this program. The boolean represents either true or false, as you can see in this program. So at this point, just for better understanding, try to do this brainstorming. You know what is integer, you know what is character. So, what is the difference between these two, number 4 and these 4 inside quotes? The second type of data types are non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data types are built utilizing the primitive data types. For example, it can be a collection of integer or any other primitive type of data. We are going to learn about non-primitive data type later, But just for now, just to give you some idea, let us see a broad overview. Non-primitive data type can be subdivided into three different types. The first one is array. Array means a collection of same type of primitive data element. For example, an array of integer, an array of character, or an array of floating point number, something like that. We will learn about it in more detail later. The second one is string. String is basically a character array. However, for its huge use cases, every C++ compiler includes it as a primitive data type. So that you can use it as a primitive data type, although it is not. And the declaration is just same as a string. String denotes a full text. So at this point, it will be very good if you can do this brainstorming. So can you describe the differences among 4 inside quotes and 4 inside double quotes? What data type will you use for each of them? The third one is struct, union, and class. These things are non-primitive data types which denotes the collection of multiple types of primitive data under the same name. Sometimes they are called abstract data type, sometimes they are called blueprint of a C++ program, but these are entirely some different concept, and we will learn some of it in the later part of the courses. So this is all about the data type in C++.